everybody, my name is Mandy, the Handmade Homeschooler, and today we're going to be talking all about our year in review. So sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and make sure that you like and subscribe to this video and hit the little bell for all the great updates on homeschooling, working at home, having a handmade business, and juggling all the life things while doing it all. So today, let's go over the major changes that we had to our homeschool this year. And there's really 5 big changes. The first major change was we went from more of a calendar school schedule to a year-round schedule. And that just means that basically we were following the school calendar for the county before, and now we're actually schooling year-round, but with blocks of breaks in between. So if I need to take a block of break for work, you know, especially during November and December when Christmas orders are coming in and I am just losing my mind, I can do that. Now, I can also take breaks for natural disasters because we live in a hurricane area, and I can take breaks when family comes to visit us because we are military, and my husband is still enlisted, but he's retiring this year. But you can imagine that we get a lot of family members that come and visit us. So it's nice to be able to take those breaks when anytime a family member comes to visit us, we can just drop everything and pick it back up when we need to. And for us, that's a lot more fun than a summer break. So the next major change was we started a Charlotte Mason style homeschool this year. Now, we don't follow all of her practices, but we do a lot of the narration, the nature studies. We're starting one of their music programs for the fall or for the next school year, what you would call. And we started a lot of read alouds, and that, for me, the read alouds has been my favorite part, and it's really helped me develop a relationship with my kids. So I really, really like that. We've gone from, also we moved homes right at the beginning or the tail end of this last school year. So the beginning of last summer is when we bought this home, and we were renting a larger home on the other side of town, and we had a schoolroom in that house. Now, I loved my schoolroom, but reality set in when we had to buy a house, and there were just no houses available for us to buy that had a extra space for homeschooling. So we had a really hard time trying to find that perfect balance, and we ended up buying this home, but it doesn't have an extra bedroom or an extra space for me to homeschool. So we are homeschooling in our main living area, in our dining area, and that's working out fine for us. But if you guys wanted to see how I kind of set up everything and try to keep everything a little bit organized in the main area with all the homeschool stuff and small space homeschooling, just let me know down in the comments and I'll try to get something up for you guys. Now, that was a big change for us because we had, you know, the traditional desks that my kids really liked, and we had a big whiteboard, and I made that room look just like one of my previous classrooms, and the kids really enjoyed it. But when we realized that we couldn't have that anymore, we had to really adjust to doing school at the table. Now, they're used to it now, but at the beginning that was an adjustment because we didn't have a whole lot of space to do that. But we are doing just fine, and it's turned out to be just enough for us, and we are quite content with our space now, especially because the kids realize that, oh, they can go read on the couch now, and that's much more comfortable than reading at a desk. Or we'll take our books outside, or there's a lot of different combinations that we can do when we're living or when we're doing homeschool in our main living area. So another thing that was a big change and a big moment for me was my oldest found the genre of books that he likes, and that was my biggest victory of the entire year. It was so hard to get my preteen to enjoy any type of book. He would speed read through it, and he wouldn't retain any of the information. His book reports were just not well written, not well thought out, and I can tell because he didn't know really what was happening because he wasn't paying attention while he was reading. So one of the things that I really set out to do in the beginning of the year was to find some type of book that this kid liked to read. And boy, I tried everything. But through reading about Charlotte Mason and with talking with my husband and really observing my son, we found that the living history books were a huge hit with him. He loves them. He absolutely loves them. And we've been really stocking up on them at the used bookstores and thrift books. And we finally found some type of book that he really enjoys to read, and I can tell because his book reports are changing. He can narrate back to me now, and he'll just randomly come up to us and tell us, like, hey, this is what I learned in the reading today about ancient Egypt or ancient Rome or whatever he's reading about at the time. And it's making him more interested in history. So along with that, we also found master books this year. I had never heard of master books, but boy, I'm a big Answers in Genesis fan, and a couple years ago we actually took the kids to the Creation Museum and to the Ark over in Kentucky. And if you haven't been, I have to tell you, make the time to do it. If it is something that you can drive, even if it's a 2-day drive, it is so worth it. We really enjoyed that trip, and it is something that we will remember for the rest of our lives. And it also helped put a lot of things in perspective for us and answered a lot of questions for me that I had since I was a child. So I was really happy that we could take our kids there so they better understood these topics from a young age, where I didn't understand them until I was in my mid-30s, because that's when we went. So highly recommend that. But I didn't realize that they had a whole lot of curriculum through master books. And I had said something to my husband at the Creation Museum, like, wow, I wish they did my curriculum, because they are just so knowledgeable about everything from dinosaurs to the Ice Age, and I mean, you name it, they were on it. And then I found master books, and a lot of the books at master books are from Answers in Genesis. And actually, my youngest son's Bible history or Bible curriculum is all apologetics through Answers in Genesis, which just made my heart so happy. And he has really enjoyed reading these books. So master books has more of the Charlotte Mason approach in it, which really appealed to me and both of my kids. We started out this year with the electives, so history and science, and both of them just loved their books. I loved their setup. I loved how easy it was. Everything was already pre-planned, and I got to do the fun part, which was adding the enrichment activities. And if you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I take sections of master books curriculum and I add enrichment activities for my kids with them. Now, that's been a lot of fun for me because I get to do my very favorite part of curriculum, which is adding the fun stuff in. Master books made it easy and did all the hard stuff for me, and now we get to do the fun stuff. So make sure you look for those enrichment activities for master book stuff if you are also doing master books this year as well. So we have all of that. My son had his victory in reading. My store is going through a major growth period right now, to where we went from just regular platforming to selling on Wayfair, and now we actually sell under their white label program. And that has offered a big brand new window of opportunity for us, but it's also kind of disrupted our homeschool just a little bit too. So my husband is going through a major career change where he's going from being enlisted in the Marine Corps to retiring. So that is also a big life change happening in all of this stuff. But through the life changes and everything, and through the changes with our school and with the changes with our work, I have found that having more of a year-round schedule kind of gives my kids stability and all of that. So while mom and dad are going through major changes, school is still the same. They're still doing school. They're still getting that one-on-one time with us, and we're still doing activities and things together. So it doesn't seem as hectic as it actually is, which is great, because kids, whether they actually can communicate it or not, they do like and crave stability and routine. And we talked about that in one of my routine videos. And that's one way that I have created a world of stability for them, especially living the military lifestyle. We've lived everywhere from Okinawa, Japan, to Missouri, to North Carolina. And through all of that, being able to homeschool gives them that ground level. Like, I at least know that we're going to be doing, math and English at 9 a.m. They know exactly what's happening. They know that mom's going to be reading them the same book that they've been reading all week at the beginning of their school day. So it's been a great way for us to kind of bond and get to know each other through these life changes, because kids, especially going into the preteen years, they're going through a lot of life changes as well, as some of you probably know. So it's been really fun to kind of get to go through these changes together, but at the same time, we always come back to the same center, which is our school. And even though it's not a school room, we're still coming back to the heart of our family, which is, you know, our time around the table with the Bible. And we have that time. They know they have dinner time, and I've liked being able to create this type of environment for them. So we've had a lot of life changes, a lot of work changes, and being able to year-round school was probably the best change that we made, other than changing from school at home to homeschooling with Masterbooks. So that's really my year in a review. We just had our testing done. You guys probably already saw that video on my list here. So we're full steam ahead into the next phase, which is a whole bunch of Masterbooks curriculum. My kids are super excited about it. Let me know down in the comments, what are you guys using this year for curriculum? Have you decided yet? Are you still undecided? Have you purchased the curriculum already? Are you going to conventions? I did not get to go to a convention this year because it seems like wherever we are stationed, there is never a convention within drivable distance for me. So conventions are kind of out of my range right now, but I knew I wanted the Masterbooks curriculum, so I just went ahead and just bought a whole bunch of it. And I actually bought some new Masterbooks stuff this past week. I actually bought it a couple days ago, and I will show you guys a video of that coming up pretty soon. So I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope you guys had a great year in review as well. And if you have any questions about anything, just let me know, and we will do another homeschool chat here really soon. So have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.